Good morning, students. Today we will talk about transport in plants. So, transport in plants take place by two major vessels, that are xylem vessel and phloem vessel. Now, the xylem vessel is mainly responsible for transport of water and minerals. And phloem vessel is mainly responsible for transport of food. The transport in xylem is unidirectional, means in only one direction, whereas transport in phloem is multidirectional. The transport of xylem does not require any energy. So it is a passive process, whereas transport of phloem requires energy. So it is a active process. Now a question arises, how does water moves up to great heights in a plant? So how does water move to great heights in a plant? How does water moves to great heights in a plant? The answer to this question is, this is by root pressure, and second, it is due to suction pull created by transpiration. Now let me explain this concept. Now imagine if this is a plant or a tree and these are its roots. So a little bit of water will move up to small heights with the help of root pressure. But what about the water? But water has to reach up to this height. So now you know that the plant consists of leaves in which there are small pores which are known as stomata. From this stomata, continuous loss of water takes place with the help of a process called transpiration. Now, due to this transpiration, that is evaporation of water from the surface of the leaves in the form of vapor, a pull is created, a suction pull is created, which pushes the water up to great heights in a stem. Now let us talk about the last life process, that is excretion. Now excretion means removal of waste products from the body. The major excretory organ in humans is the kidney, which helps to filter the blood from the nitrogenous waste. Now let us draw the diagram of human excretory system. Human excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys. From the kidneys arise the ureter, which opens into a urinary bladder through urethra, and there are two vessels, which are the renal artery and the renal vein, which drains blood into the kidney. So this is the kidney, this is the kidney. So this is the kidney. These are the renal artery. This is the renal vein. These are the ureters, and this is the urinary bladder, and this is the urethra. So this is the diagram of human excretory system. Now the function of kidney is to filter the blood. The function of ureter is to pass the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. The function of urinary bladder is to temporarily store the urine, and function of urethra is to move the urine, is to pass the urine out of the body. Now the renal artery will bring impure blood into the kidney for the filtration purpose. Now the functional and structural unit of kidney are the nephrons. The functional and structural unit of kidney are the nephrons. Now let us look at the diagram of nephron. Nephron consists of a cup-shaped structure. First, let me draw the diagram of nephron to Now, nephron consists of a cup-shaped structure which is known as Bowman capsule. Then comes the PCT, which is the proximal convoluted tubule. Then comes the loop of Henle. Then comes the DCT, distal convoluted tubule, and then comes the collecting duct. Now, the mechanism of urine formation takes place in 3 steps. First of all is the glomerular filtration. The glomerular filtration takes place inside the Bowman capsule. Inside the Bowman capsule, there are tuft capillaries which are known as glomerulus. Now, filtration which take place in this tuft of capillaries known as glomerulus present in the Bowman capsule is known as glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration. You have to remember that Bowman capsule filtration with the help of glomerulus is also called ultrafiltration. Now the second step is selective reabsorption. Now in selective reabsorption, any useful substance which is stored in which is present in the filtrate, which is present in the urine, which is present in the waste is reabsorbed. For example, glucose is reabsorbed, sodium ions are reabsorbed, potassium ions are reabsorbed. So any useful substance present in the waste is reabsorbed by the process of selective reabsorption. And the third step is tubular secretion. In tubular secretion, some amount of urea, glucose is poured back from the DCT into the filtrate to maintain the osmotic concentration. So this was the diagram of the nephron and the mechanism of urine formation, which was glomerular filtration, selective reabsorption and tubular secretion. Now let us look at the transportation. In plants, which I have already told you, which occurs with the help of xylem and phloem. But how do the plants get rid of waste products? Now the simple answer is that the oxygen, which is the waste produced during photosynthesis, is removed with the help of stomata. Water is removed with the help of transpiration. Some waste are stored in the roots, which is secreted in the soil. Some waste are stored in the bark as well as in the bark as well as in the leaves, and the leaves fall off and the bark get peel off, and hence the plant get rid of the waste products. So this was about the life process excretion.